And hello everyone, and hope you're all having a fantastic night. I am Rob, your host from Cruising on the High Seas and Travel. In tonight's live stream, we will be talking about almost anything related to travel and cruising. So, in tonight, we will also be asking, when is your next cruise? And where is it going off to? So without delay, let's welcome on in the people on into the chat. And of course, there is the link also pinned to the top. If you would like to join, the more the merrier. So that is who is the only one left into the chat at this current moment, but that is fine at this current moment. So, excuse me, let me get a drink because the throat has been very dry all day. So, with I didn't do too much research, and I do know I have some guests appearing, but I'm just waiting for them to appear. appear as they are running a little behind. But once again, there's the link if you'd like to join on in, and it's also pinned to the top. All I ask is that you have your camera turned on so we are able to see your beautiful or handsome face. So, let's talk all about cruising. And just recently, I did learn that one of our friends, Jimmy from the Astute Tourist, did not know nothing about the status match on MSC. And did you know you can status match if you have cruised or even have hotel points somewhere else, which is related to travel because you gotta travel a day before so you don't miss that fantastic cruise. Because if you travel in the day before, then you are asking for disaster. So let's take a peek. No, no one's down. Nope, no one's down there yet. I thought I saw someone down there for a quick sec. But there is one thing I do want to mention off, and it is I'm going to take a line from Cruising is Fun anytime, and I'm on the other screen because I'm looking at what I can't post it because I'm working off my iPad. But my top chatters for the week coming in at number 5 is Rob with Cruise Brothers with two with two chats sent, followed by myself cruising on the high seas and travel with two chats sent. Coming in at number 3 is Carnival Cruise Addicts. And coming in at number 2 is Cruising is Fun Anytime. And coming in strong at number 1 is Embarker Nation with 19 chats. So we are just going, and while we're waiting for some people to come on in, we will play a promo. So here is a promo, and hopefully you all can join.
The Booze Cruise 3.0, hosted by Rob from Cruising on the High Seas and Travel. Ports of call: Costa Maya, Mexico; Roatan, Honduras; Belize City, Belize; Cozumel, Mexico; out of Tampa, Florida; Costa Maya, Mexico; Roatan, Honduras; Belize City, Belize; Cozumel, Mexico. Aboard the Grandeur of the Seas out of Tampa, Florida. Sailing October 25 to November 1, 2025. Book today for this amazing sailing with any travel agent.
Yes, that is going to be an amazing cruise that's coming on up. And speaking of amazing, I have an amazing person down in the basement. Are you ready to come up? Give me a thumbs up. Awesome. Let's welcome in my dear friend, Najum.
Hey, buddy.
Hello, and how are you doing?
Okay, how you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Can't complain. So, what have you been up to these days?
Nothing much. Kind of moving around a little bit, trying to find a place to live.
Well, a place to live is always good. Still, still,
So,
still looking with it. Still looking within the same state of New York.
yep. Now,
Yep, that's good. That's good. And how about any travels? You got travels coming up, or just in
mm,
September?
just in September. I don't. I might do something over the summer, but I'm not sure yet. Because I babysit for my youngest daughter, so for me to just take, I not so much take off, but to do a trip, that means that she's got to take off from work unless she can get, because I have three girls and she's the youngest of my three, and my middle girl works, so she would actually have to try to get her older sister to watch the baby. She already got 8 kids at home, so
Wow,
I mean,
that's a
it probably wouldn't be a problem for her because most of the kids are school aged, so they all go to school all day except for the twins. The youngest of her kids are a set of twins, and I think I can't keep track. I think they're three. Yeah, I think they're three because I think I was saying they were two, and she said my daughter was getting mad at me. She said, "Mom, they three. Mom, they three. Mom, they three." She was getting mad at me because I could remember that they were three. I was telling everybody with two. I said, all the grandkids I got, I can't remember ages.
well. The way I put it, age is just a number.
Yeah. Then my oldest granddaughter just turned 21 last week.
And the other theory I go with, as soon as I can't count on my hands no more, I stop counting.
I know, right?
Yep, and that's what come on in. Sharon from Cruising Scene. How are you
Hi,
doing?
Sharon.
And if you'd like to join, the link is in the chat or pinned to the top. Feel free to join. Today
You
is
talked to
an
Larry
open.
lately?
No, I have not spoke to Leia lately.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does he do his live? Is his live tonight or is that on Monday nights?
I just found out they're Monday nights.
Oh, okay.
This
I
was the
can't keep
second.
track
This
anymore.
was apparently the second week.
It's hard to keep track
Yeah,
with all the lives I try to participate in.
yeah.
Too
I
many
try
of
to
them.
keep my Thursday nights active. Now the odd week I have to miss because of commitments or something, but I try to keep my Thursday nights are out for 8 o'clock. So, but yeah, no, it's I haven't spoken to him for a good while now.
'Cause I think I sent him a message a couple of weeks ago asking how him and Ananda were doing.
I see.
Because I think it was just before he started his lives back up.
Yep,
Because I
yep.
know once during the week he'll pop up in on somebody's live, but he hadn't popped up in anybody's live for a couple of weeks, maybe almost a
Yep,
month. So I was getting a
yeah,
little worried.
yep. I typically will catch him the odd time in Sean's live,
I haven't been
but
catching Sean's lives too much because I
yeah.
was catching them in the morning on Wednesdays, but that was back when I had my step granddaughter. But she's back with her mom now, so I don't have to get up early in the morning
Mm-hmm.
to get nobody up for school.
Yep. Welcome on in,
I have to
Cruise Nuts.
I sleep. I sit up late and watching TV and playing games on my phone. And it says now she's been back with her mom since March of last year. So she's been back with her mom for almost a year now. Actually, the end of this March should be a year. She's been back with her mom. So I've had a whole year of not having to get up to school. And she's a senior because my daughter's oldest son is a senior. So we got two of them graduating this year from high school.
What, great high school, right?
Yeah.
They grow up very fast and like weeds.
Oh, too fast. I got one, two, three grandkids in high school. My oldest daughter, her oldest son is a senior, and then the daughter under him is 10th grade. And then my middle girl, her son's 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then my baby, actually now, well, the fourth one, the next one is not my grandchild, but it's my niece. My brother's youngest daughter's a sophomore too. So we'll have four of them, three of them graduating in 2 years.
Yep. And Sharon is saying, it's nice that you have time to yourself.
Well, not really. I still, Sharon, I got a 2-year-old I'm babysitting every day. I'm babysitting now. He's just knocked out. His mom, my daughter, don't get off until 10:30. She's a manager at Starbucks, so that's the only reason why it's quiet.
Yep. And how easy or hard is it to get travel across the city?
To travel, it's not. I don't go nowhere really. So I mean, I'm on Long Island, which is like 45 minutes east, I guess, from the city.
Okay.
I don't go to the city. And I was just telling my youngest daughter, I wanted to go out and do more stuff in Manhattan, and I'm kind of scared because I know I'm gonna look like a tourist, and I really don't want to do that. But I mean, I want to go, but I don't want to. I gotta get myself set in my mind to try not to look like a tourist, even though I know I'm going to look like a tourist because I don't go to the city that often. But I think the
I
last time
see.
I actually went was, I think the last time I was in the city was just before COVID. Yeah, yeah, I think that was the last time. So that we're talking 3 years now since I've
Mm-hmm.
been in, almost four.
Yep. You know,
So
the last time
I
out.
don't go walk around too much. The only time I'm really in the city is if I'm taking the train from Manhattan to North Carolina. because I was actually just in North Carolina in October. I flew down, but I took the train back.
And the last time I was in New York, like New York, was probably back around about 2016, 2017.
Hmm.
And literally, I just saw one airport and then the other airport. That's it.
Wow.
'Cause I went into LaGuardia and went out of JFK.
See, I like going out of JFK because it's easier for me to get to. 'Cause I can take the train from Long Island into Queens, and I go upstairs and walk over to my right. They have what they call an air train, and
Okay.
it costs me $8 to jump on that,
How
and it
much?
takes me right $8.
Okay.
So they'll take me straight to JFK, and they stop at each gate. So I think there's like seven, maybe eight gates. So I guess it depends on which airline I'm flying with. As a matter of fact, I think when I flew out to North Carolina in October, no, I know I'm not trying to go to LaGuardia. I think I took oh god, JetBlue, because for some reason they would have. I like Delta, but for some reason for that particular trip, because I bought my ticket like 4 days before I was leaving, the tickets were cheaper with JetBlue. But
Okay.
I was mad, and I didn't realize it until after the fact because I was trying to fly into Greensboro, but I wound up flying into Raleigh, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't because they don't fly into Greensboro. Says I won't. As much as I like JetBlue going to North Carolina, I won't do that again. I'll have to try to do Delta.
Yep. Or even Southwest.
JetBlue was good.
Southwest is a good airline. I've
I
had no.
just people. I don't know why did because the only other time I flew was when I flew for the cruise back in 22 for the inaugural sailing
Yep.
for Helping
Yep.
Hands,
Yep.
and I used Delta for that one because I flew Delta going down there, and I think I somehow or another coming back, I wanted flying back with American Airlines. I don't know how that happened, but because I think I was trying to do Delta, and I think they were. I don't even remember at this point, but I got home, so I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah. No. Normally for me, when I'm flying within the states,
Uh huh.
like when I start my trip in the states, I'll go with Southwest because two bags free is what does it, and the way they treat their passengers is really great. So I just go Southwest if I'm starting in the states.
Yeah.
But sometimes it doesn't make sense to drive to the states just to fly. But if the price is right, then it makes more sense. But most of the time it doesn't because it's just me and maybe one other person.
Uh huh.
So it's cheaper just to fly out of Canada. So then it's normally like American, Air Canada, WestJet. We still have our Delta and all that stuff, but I've yet to fly with them yet. But
Oh gosh.
one day I will fly down with them. But yeah. So what ports are you going to in September?
Oh, I don't remember. I have to. I think one of them is San Juan.
San Juan, Puerto Rico.
I think so.
Yep. That's a good port, but it's a very Small port.
I think
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just know I'm going because I actually started not to go, and then I said, okay, I go, and then I turned around. I think right after I told Larry I was going to go, um, Darian asked me if I wanted to be part of the group going to Germany this year, and me and my crazy self said yeah. But I'm glad I hadn't started making, trying to save money for that because I had to back out of that trip because I thought about
Yep.
us actually take all these trips because they said my daughter only gets so much vacation time and then anything else she has to use her sick time. And I hate for her to do that, especially with her having a baby. I don't want her using up her sick time just so I can travel. So I kind of have to, unless it's a weekend trip like I did in October, I kind of have to limit myself to maybe one good trip a year because I don't want her using up her. And I feel bad about her using her vacation time just so I can go on vacation. But we both need a break, I guess, somehow or another.
Yep. And unfortunately, we hear about all these amazing trips and getaways, but it costs lots of this, and
Yeah,
you gotta kind of prioritize which ones you really want to do.
with my middle girl.
One year I wouldn't mind doing the trip to Germany with Darian, but just gotta kind of get an idea roughly what would it cost, and one year I will try and make it happen.
Yeah. Then my middle girl's doing a cruise next year in April for her birthday because she'll be 40 in February of next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably use that time to do something because my youngest daughter's going with her. So I'll probably plan on doing something off on my own because I want to do the rock and roll cruise next year.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know financially if I could set myself up to try to do either a whole separate cruise or try to go on a cruise with my daughter.
Yeah. Well.
'Cause that's like 7 months after Larry's cruise.
Uh. For which one? The one with your daughter?
Yeah, because she's doing hers in April of next year,
Okay.
and that's gonna be a little tight for me. So I'll probably just go to Jersey or something for a few days,
Yeah. Well.
and then come back and hang out with my oldest daughter for a few days.
Yeah. Well. There's always the consideration of joining the Booze Cruise 3.0 on Grander of the Seas of October
What is that one
2025.
again? I'm sorry.
Say again?
October?
Yeah, October
That was in
20.
October?
Yeah, that one's in October.
I don't know. Ugh,
So
because that's
just
just
before the
before the
rock and
Rocky
roll.
Road trip. I don't know.
Yep.
I might try to do that. I don't want to promise because I already put a down payment for the rock and roll cruise. I did this deposit already.
Yep.
But that's what I'm
But like
saying
I
because
said,
my youngest one is she's doing a cruise in April, and then for me to turn around and literally do back to back cruises next year, I mean she's gonna wind up using her sick time so I can do
mm-hmm.
2 cruises. I really don't
Yep.
want her to do that. See, if she was a single person, I wouldn't have to worry about it. But she's got my little munchkin, so I don't
Yep.
want her eating up her sick time for that.
Yep. Because that's the way I always put it at work. I try not to use my sick time because if I have to use it, they know I'm truly sick.
Yeah, because my
Because
daughter, she's a manager, and they know she don't ever take any time off.
Yep. So
unless the baby's sick.
she's pretty much like me.
But she don't usually get that sick like that either. I mean, the worst is that she'll get a cold and she'll be a little stuffy, but she'll go get her some Mucinex or something and keep moving. Unfortunately, I can't do like she do because I have high blood pressure, so I can't take just anything over the counter
Okay.
because it either makes me really drowsy or really hyper. So I have to go in and let my doctor give me a prescription for something.
Yeah. But yeah. No. Yeah. Like I say, like for me to use my sick time, it's when I'm really truly sick. So, but I normally take a payout every year
Yeah.
because we for us we can't go like say 3 4 days consecutive
Mhm.
because after the third day, now all of a sudden now we need to have a doctor's note for every single day.
Yeah.
So
They do that same thing here in the States. And take 3 days, and after that, if you need more time after that third day, you gotta come back with a doctor's note.
ours is on the third day you need that note.
That's why
So
I'm kind of glad I'm not working right now because I usually in the wintertime I'll get a really bad cold a couple of times because I'll get one usually in October just when the weather's starting to change a little bit.
mm-hmm.
And then I'll get another one either around about Thanksgiving, but or Christmas, but it's usually Christmas. So now I'm trying to sit around sick, trying to enjoy the holidays with the kids and can't because I'm not feeling good.
Yep.
And it always works out that I get it like the week before Christmas. So now Christmas comes and I'm laying across the couch, half asleep, and trying to watch the babies open their gifts.
I see.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. It's been a long day for me too. Very long day. But yeah, I try to do my live streams every week on Thursdays. I think there was only like one week I end up having to miss because I had to work late. But it's fun having the live streams
Yeah, I'm used to
and then
sitting.
jumping on in. The other time I'll try and jump into Sharon's live when I can catch her live, but I haven't seen her live for a while. If you're still
Who?
in the chat, let me know when you
Which
go live
Sharon?
and I'll try and see if I can jump in again.
Which Sharon?
Sharon with Cruising Scene.
Oh,
Yeah, but
when was the last time
I
she
know
been on?
yeah I normally catch the Friday night show with Eddie Lugo. Oh, excuse me. With Eddie Lugo, Jeremy and Cheryl from Cruising's Fun, Anytime, and Jane S Adventure, and Scott from the Muscle Drill. I never
Yeah, I
catch
try to
those
catch them on
shows.
Friday, but I usually catch them in the morning during the week.
Yeah.
Cause sometimes on Friday, depending on whether my daughter works or not. If it's a Friday that she don't work, then I'm a lot of times I'm knocked out by 8 o'clock because I don't sleep too well at night. So like I said, she's working now. She get off in like 2 hours, and I'm sleepy as heck right now. But as soon as she get back, I'll be wide awake, and I wind up sitting up watching TV till like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll turn around and get up at like 5 or 6. and be up for the rest of the day. I didn't get
Little,
tired like
little,
I
little,
am now.
little naps are, I guess, okay,
Oh,
but it's not the proper rest that you need.
I need to get myself. I don't know. I got a lot going on right now, and but I've been like this for years, so I don't know. It's just I guess kind of a habit.
Yep.
And then I know my doctor told me because they actually wound up sending me to a cardiologist, and they said I
Okay.
had sleep apnea, and that's probably why I'm waking up in the middle of the night and not being able to go back to sleep. And they had me on the machine. I couldn't take that. I did good for like a month, and I couldn't take it no more with the hoses.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I was hoping to meet you in September. Was it September or October of 22? I think it was
October
September.
20.
Was it October?
Yeah.
Yep. Was hoping,
I
but
mean, I think if I remember right, I think if you didn't tell me, Larry told me you were having medical issues, I think.
I was having medical issues. So how'd you take care of that?
Yeah, that comes first.
Yep, because without
Make sure
that,
you
there's no ability for you to travel. Because the last thing you need is to be traveling and then say you're in the middle of the ocean and next thing you
get
know
sick.
you need to be airlifted. And we know being airlifted is definitely not cheap. I have
No, but if
seen
you get the insurance, don't that cover you? You have to pay for it first and then let them pay you back.
it all depends upon who your insurance is. If if you do it through the cruise line, then I believe they cover that cost. If you do it through your insurance company, it all depends on how that policy is written out. You may have to pay it and then get reimbursed, or they'll just pay it for you. But what most people don't understand is most of it only covers the one evac, which is airlift.
Hmm.
So if say you're in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and they have to airlift you off the ship, that is your only evac that policy is going to cover. So once you're airlifted, they're taking you to the hospital. Once you're at the hospital, once you're clear to head back home, but you're not fully
You're on your own.
stable,
You
if you
probably
gotta
most likely.
if you gotta be evac over back to your home, that's another separate cost. And the insurance company won't cover two evacs normally.
Well,
Even some places like I believe Mexico, they won't let you go until your bill is paid in full. So the longer you're there, the higher your bill goes. So
so that's the one thing that had me scared of cruising because I don't have money to try to get home if I get sick. Because I heard everybody's talking about getting insurance, but then, like you explaining to me, if I have to get air back from the ship to a hospital, the closest hospital now, I'm stuck trying to get home from that hospital.
mhm. That's why I always recommend have your own private policy and then get the policy through the cruise line. Because now you got two policies to play with.
Okay.
Or if you're fortunate enough that you're fortunate enough, I guess we'll say it's still working, then if your own policy is separate from your work policy, then you bounce off of that policy. But referring to that, if you have to have any medical treatment on the ship and you don't have the ship's policy, most of the time they'll want you to pay and then get reimbursed from your policies because they won't accept your policy on board for them to charge them.
And that's
So
crazy. But then you
and
might have
and
a
and
problem
and,
with your insurance anyway because you're not in the States.
and it is crazy, but unfortunately that's just the way how sometimes the policies go.
Because I know when back in 2015, I was down in North Carolina taking care of my grandmother, and I think I pulled a muscle on my back, trying to help her off the couch. And the first couple of days, it was painful. I was taking Advil, but by the third day, it was really bad
Hmm.
because I think that third day was like a Saturday. So I wound up calling my brother and asking him to make his way over to where my grandmother was to sit with her while I went to the emergency room. Went to the emergency room, he did X-ray. I said, "Oh yeah, you pulled the muscle." Blah blah blah. Wrote a prescription. Go right across, just literally across, well, down the block. Then I'm thinking about it because I actually kind of picture it. Go down the block to Walgreens. I had to pay out of pocket for the prescription. I'm like, but I just handed y'all my insurance card. So they said apparently they're not paying for it because you're out of state. So I told her, I said, I'm going to get the medicine, but just hold on for a minute. And I called the insurance company, and the pharmacist was right. They wouldn't pay for it because I was out of state. I said, so you telling me now I just left the emergency room, I have to pay for that too? And the guy was like, no, we'll pay for that, but you have to pay for the medication that they prescribe to you unless you can get them to give you medicine in the emergency room. I didn't even go back. I just paid, I think it was like $40 for like a week's worth of pills. I said, I'm not even going back in there because I knew because if they knew I was visiting out of state, so I know they knew that my insurance wouldn't cover me at the pharmacy. But
That's crazy.
I'm like, I'm in pain. Pulled the muscle, and I'm down here trying to take care of my grandmother. Y'all won't cover my medicine.
But back in 2019, I was in West Virginia. I somehow did something to my foot. I was just on it way too much on my feet, and some type of infection occurred, and it was for a camp, and it was towards the end, and because everything's all pretty much all wrapped up, they went, okay, the best we can do is we can treat it here as best we can, wrap it up, and then just stay off your feet as much as possible until you get home. Once you get home, make your way to the emergency room or urgent care clinic. So after I got back home the next day, that's what I did, and sure enough, there was an infection in the foot. And then, meanwhile, I wasn't complaining about any breathing issues. The doctor was was picking it up. That there was some breathing issues going on too, and I wasn't even complaining about it. So they dealt with that issue there too. But
Wow.
it does get very expensive when you're traveling, and you just gotta make sure you got
Yeah,
the proper coverage.
I think that was so crazy. But I feel like like I said, I was in the States. I was like 5 states away from where I lived. So I thought I'd be all right. And so all I did was pull a muscle on my back.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Used all those.
luckily,
They made they made me drowsy a little bit.
yeah. Well, welcome on in my number one um top chatter of the week. You made number one this week.
Hey Jennifer.
And is the question, is this Jennifer or is this Andrew?
Oh, I forgot her husband does
But
the channel with her.
I think it's Jennifer. And if you would like to join on in, the link is in the chat and pinned to the top. Feel free to come on in.
I'm gonna have to wake this baby up in a little while. He's been up all night.
The more, the merrier. Well, come on up, guys. The more, the merrier. We got Jen and Andrew. Come on up. The more, the merrier. But yeah, no. That's why I always keep telling people, make sure you travel with insurance because you never know what could happen.
Yeah, I think when I did that cruise in October, I don't think I got insurance, but thankfully nothing happened to where I got sick enough to have to go to be airlifted. I was like, thank God, because I know I didn't have the money to try to get back to the States.
Yep.
But I
What she's saying, thank you
not
so much, but our goat had babies and I am dirty and looking rough. Hello. Your looks mean nothing up here. You always look great.
now for the cruise that I'm doing in September. Should I get the insurance now? Because I didn't get it yet.
And, the insurance through the cruise line, you can do it
Yeah.
anytime before
Well,
final payment date.
I was gonna go through Alliance. I didn't
Uh,
know. I honestly didn't know that I could get insurance to the cruise line.
yeah. So the insurance through the cruise line, heaven forbid something happens to you on the cruise, then they will cover right there because they know it's their policy.
Uh-huh.
If you go through a third party like Alliance, Manulife, Sun Life, or whoever, you are gonna be paying out of the pocket just to get reimbursed.
Okay.
But I would probably go through the cruise line first to be safe because with the policy that I have, it might be just the way how I have it, how mine's written, but because this cruise of yours is already booked, even if you go off and get it, they may not cover that trip. In the best case, they may cover it, but they may not cancel. They may not cover the cancel for any reason.
Oh, and I'm not
So,
canceling it.
but
I'm going on that because
if
I'm
you
not.
don't plan on canceling, then and they're gonna cover everything except cancel for any reason,
Uh-huh.
then you're blessed.
I'm just concerned about getting sick and not having to pay for it out of pocket.
No, well, then I would be saying go for the cruise line
Okay. I'll probably try to take care
because
of it tomorrow
yeah,
because I'll have more.
I would be saying go through the cruise line because they to what I've heard they will cover anything because it's their policy and they know it will be paid for. Where with a third party, they don't know if it's going to work or not. So that's why they want you to submit the claim once you get back home and then to get reimbursed. And Sharon is agreeing with me. Yes, I would go through the cruise line.
Okay.
Yeah, like for me, whenever I go, I always do it both ways. I do it privately and I do through the cruise line, so I'm double protected. Yeah, it costs more money, but I'd rather have every single base covered
Yeah.
because you never know what life may throw at you.
Yeah, that's true. Like I
And
said, I'm not really one to get sick. The worst that happened to me is, like I said, when the change of weather, I get the sniffles. Like with the
mhm,
getting ready to go from winter to spring, I'll get a little cold, but it won't be that bad
yeah,
because I already have a cough because I smoke cigarettes. But in the next few weeks, I'll get a little cold, and that'll last maybe a week, and then I'll be fine. And then like I said, somewhere like mid-October, maybe, because at that point we're coming out of summer, going into fall. I might get a little sniffle, but usually I get hit hard either usually around Christmas. Sometimes I'll get one Thanksgiving weekend, but that's rare. Most of the time it's Christmas. So
yeah. That's when I typically find mine is also during when the season changes when temperatures go up and down.
yeah, and mostly now I'm thinking about it.
Like one day it could be warm, next day it could be cold.
The springtime that's usually more allergies than anything. So I'll go. As a matter of fact, I got a box of actually half a box of clatter in my pocketbook now, so I'll be ready. By the end of March, beginning of April, when the allergy season kick in.
Yeah,
But I'll probably buy some more because my daughters kick in and they'll not have money for allergy medicine, and they know I keep some in my pocketbook, so I'm gonna have to get me another box and throw it in my pocketbook.
yeah. And Jennifer and Andrew say we would also agree. For us, we take a few trips a year, so the annual plan is better financially. But cruise insurance is good if you are just worried about being sick.
Yeah, because see, I don't. This cruise in September will be the second one that I've taken that I'm, you know, and the only time I really travel is that I go back and forth to North Carolina to spend time with my youngest brother
Okay.
because I have two brothers and a sister younger than me. But the one brother that's just under me, he still lives here in New York. Actually, my sister does too. My youngest brother's the only one that don't live in New York anymore. So I like
Yeah.
going to see him because that's my little getaway from all these grandbabies.
We all need a little getaway.
I go down there and then I have him fussing over me. Sis, you alright? You okay? Between him and his wife, I love her. Oh, she's so crazy and I love her. Them two fuss over me and their youngest daughter be fussing over me. Every 5 minutes, my niece said, "Auntie, you okay? Auntie, you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, Joy, I'm okay." She comes and checks on me like every 5 or 10 minutes. She's too funny.
Yeah. Uh, It all depends upon how much you travel. Like
Yeah,
if
'cause
you
I
if
only
you
go down there. Well, actually, this past October was the first time I had been down there to see him in like 3, 4 years. Because I know, let me see, because my husband passed in 2015, almost at the end of 2015. And then my grandma passed almost 9 months behind him in 2016. And I think for about a year, I was going back and forth because I was the executive for our state.
I see. Yeah.
No, the 2016, I was back and forth that summer. And I might have went down to see him once, because I think I had everything straight by the end of 2016. And I think I went to see him in 2017. That might have been the last time that I went down there until this past October, because he had turned 50 last year. So his
Okay.
wife had this big old party that he didn't know about, and she had invited me and my other brother, and my sister, and I didn't plan my money right. I had the tickets and everything, but I didn't have the money to take the train from Long Island to the city, from Long Island to Queens to get on the plane. So I called my brother and I said, "Well, I got to find some excuse for borrowing the money from him without him knowing I'm actually coming down there." So I called him and asked him if I could borrow $40 because I had a doctor's appointment. And he was shocked because I flew out on a Friday because they had the party Saturday night. It was funny. So I stayed in the hotel Friday night. And then my uncle picked me up and took me to my brother's house because she was trying to not let any of us come to the house. She didn't want she wanted us to wait and show up at the party. But she said my brother was driving her crazy. So she told my uncle to just bring me to the house. He still had no idea it was in North Carolina. So I get to the house, and my sister in law and one of her girls were in the kitchen. So we in there whispering. I said, "Okay, where's my brother?" She said, "Oh, he's in the family room." She said, "You might as well go ahead and see him." So I walked in, and that's because they have like these two little, and my brother turned around and was shocked. He almost passed out because he really wasn't expecting me to show up, especially since I had called him the day before to borrow money to get to the doctor. He was like, "Oh my God, I didn't think you were coming." Because he actually thought, he kind of figured we were coming, but she thought she had the three of us coming down and we were just going to do this big dinner at the house with, the three of us coming down to at least spend the weekend with them. He didn't, he wasn't expecting this big old party because she actually did a casino party for him,
Okay.
which was fun. And then my sister, her oldest daughter, which nobody was expecting her to come down from Pennsylvania because she's got 4 kids, and her oldest is a teacher in Pennsylvania, a special ed teacher in Pennsylvania. So I was definitely shocked to see her because I knew I was going to see my sister and her husband and the three younger kids. When I got there and I saw my oldest niece, I was shocked. I started crying because I hadn't seen her in like 6 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep, nope. Surprises are always good, and yep. Sharon from Cruising Scenes. It's worth check out the annual plans because if you travel more than once, the annual plan might make sense. Because when I was looking at it, I calculated out all the trips I had planned out, and the person said, "Yep, clearly the annual plan is going to be your cheapest route to go, and it covers for the full year of when you first leave, not when you buy the policy." So you could simply buy the policy 6 months in advance, but not leave till like say 6 months after you bought the policy, and that's when it starts.
Wow.
So it's worth it. And
Yeah.
well, hello, look at who we got here, V Phillips. How are you doing? And I made it. I am very blessed that you have made it. This person here is one of my colleagues.
Oh, cool.
And every single week, I keep giving this person a hard time. You missed it, you missed it, you missed it. I'm very proud of you. Yeah.
Whew.
One of my most amazing colleagues I work with. But yeah, I do it for you. So maybe I should hold you to it next week.
Oh my goodness. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, but that's good to hear that she made it.
Oh,
But let's just say no. For sure, I'll be there next week. I'll hold you to it. And next week, can't remember what next week's topic is, but I think it might be the talk about the paradise in Cozumel. I know I have that stream coming up soon. But you've been to Cozumel before, right?
uh, I think this ship went to Cozumel, but I didn't. When I did that cruise with Kenny and them, I didn't get off at any of the ports because I hadn't gotten the shots, and I was able to get on the cruise, but I was told that if you didn't have both shots, you couldn't get off at any of the ports. So
Oh,
unfortunately, I didn't get. But then I found out after the fact I could have got off at one of them, and I think Cozumel might have been the one.
okay.
It was either Cozumel or Amber Cove. I can't remember which one it was. And something told me I should try to get off anyway, but I was like, no, I didn't want to. I said it'd be my luck to go down there and be a crowd of people, and they tell me I can't get off, and I'd be embarrassed.
Well, at least you would have the whole entire ship to enjoy, and then explore and vlog
I
it.
should be all right for this one in September.
Say again?
I said I've gotten the shots since then,
Yeah,
so
well,
I think it should be good for this cruise coming up in September with Larry.
my last cruise and all the other ones, I don't recall him ever asking any questions about vaccination status.
I guess because it was still kind of new as far as getting the shots.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of the
yes, but
ports
yeah, back then, yeah,
required you to have the shots. Because I mean, when we did that cruise, I think if I remember right, and I could be wrong, I think at least Carnival had stopped making it mandatory for you to have the shots in order to take the cruise.
yep.
You
And
just had to
Jennifer,
do it. I think you just had to do it and just show the result. Take a because I took a picture of of the thing because I did the test at home to show that it was negative.
okay, and Jennifer Andrew is saying it's recommended but not required.
Jennifer, is that to get off the ship? Because I think I know that's what Carnival was saying that in order to cruise. It was recommended but not mandatory.
Yeah, where
And that was
for
what almost 2 years ago. So I know a lot
yeah,
changed in 2 years.
yeah, where for me, um, where I work at, it was back when this all hit the fans. It was required for us to have it. But let's also now welcome on in Scott from the Mustard Drill. What's up?
Because I was actually my concern was the fact that I had high blood pressure and I'm taking 4 pills for that. Then I had found out 6 months ago, 6 months prior to the trip that I had COPD, but they were recommending people with asthma and any kind of breathing issues to get the shot, but I was still scared to get it, at least here in the States anyway.
Yep. And Scott, if you'd like to join us up on panel, you're more than welcome to. Just
So
click
that's
on the
why
link.
I didn't get the shots back then prior to that cruise because I was
Hmm.
concerned that I might have some sort of side effect to the shot.
Yep. And Jennifer is saying they required it for our cruise in August of 21, but our cruise since then have not required proof. They still do for some countries, but not most of the Caribbean cruises. And then I know when my aunt and uncle went to Australia last year, they still had to show a negative test and records. But I think even that what has changed now. Yeah, a lot of places aren't asking for it much anymore.
I guess they figure most people have it by now, probably,
Yeah, yeah. And if you were gonna get it, you would have had it by now.
because
Now there's
that's what I
still
was actually worried about that on that cruise. Because I figured I said, oh my god, I'm going to be really uh, open to catching this thing on this
yeah,
cruise, knowing that I didn't have the shots.
yeah.
That's
And
what
Scott,
scared me, knowing that I was gonna come back home. And at the time, I was staying with my oldest daughter, who's got all these kids. I didn't want them getting sick, and you know what I mean. I didn't have nowhere else to go to, stay away from them until it cleared up. So
yeah, and Scott, feel free if you want to join us up on panel. Link is above in the chat and pinned to the top. Jennifer's also saying, I still carry ours with us just in case we are ever stuck somewhere. Same with me. Like, I always have mine with me, so if something does pop up, I can easily just pull up and go.
yeah,
There's the proof. Because you never know when you might be in a jam and they may ask about it. But like I mentioned before, most places they don't ask for that stuff no more. But you will always get that odd place that will ask about it.
yeah. I gotta get
But
guess I'll wait till the middle of next month, middle of March. I gotta get a. I want to get the passport book because I got the card. I was able to use the card on that last cruise with no problem.
we mean by passport book, like the
The
book
book,
version.
yeah, because I got the card,
Okay,
but I want to get. I want to get the book because when I did the
okay,
trip in 22, I got to the point where I was going to cancel the cruise
okay.
anyway, and I didn't realize until like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks before the cruise, I didn't have my passport.
Oh
So
wow.
there's a passport office in the city, and I called them because they would only see you in that office with an appointment. So I called them. I said, "Look, I just realized. I said I'm taking a cruise in 3 weeks. I don't have a passport, and for me to cancel it now, I'm going to lose all my money. I really don't want to do that." So they gave me the appointment, but my money was a little tight, so I had just enough to get the passport card. But asked them to expedite it, which meant I was in the city all day. Because I got there, I filled out the application, I went
Mhm.
upstairs, I talked to like two people. The first person just kind of went over the application real quick, and then she gave me a number, and I went, sat down. I think I sat down maybe 10 minutes, and the girl called me up, and I got lucky. I mean, not to say that everybody in there was mean, but I got a really nice person. She went out of her way to help me do everything.
Just give me a second. One of my buddies is messaging me in a live stream. Yeah, one of my buddies that normally comes up on the panel with me.
Uh,
He had to work today because he just got himself a new job, and I guess he forgot that I have a live stream on Thursday nights. But if anyone in the chat wants to join us up here, like I said, the link is in the chat and it's pinned to the top. Feel free. Once a month, I do a open mic, so feel free to come on up. Especially if you're on a cruise right now, Scott. Wink, wink. because he right now he is actually on the Getaway
Now is
out
that
of
Norwegian?
New York. Yeah, that's in Norwegian. That's out of New York. So I think he's on his way back to New York now. And if I haven't said hello yet, hello, Bill, and welcome on in.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, I Bill is also on a cruise in Hawaii. So Bill,
I thought he was back. Oh, he did another. He's doing another cruise.
I was speaking to Bill. I think 2 or 3 days ago. Yeah,
Okay, this is another cruise because I think the last cruise he did, if I remember right, I think when he came back, he did mention something about Hawaii. So I can't keep up
yeah,
no more.
yeah. He's doing Hawaii, and he's
I
back
think he
on
mentioned
Sunday.
Hawaii like 2 or 3 weeks ago in
Yeah,
one of his lives. Every time I turn around, somebody going on a cruise. I can't keep track no more.
yep. There's lots of people in the community are now cruising.
Oh yeah, I wish I could cruise like that.
I would love
My
to cruise
time will
like that.
come. I can do more than one cruise a year.
Just almost pretty much drop what you're doing and just jump on a cruise. I would love to do that.
Yeah, I would too. I just have to make sure my daughter be all right with the baby, so she don't have to lose time from work.
Yeah,
Because she's a manager. She's right under the general manager. So she's got the point now where she closes every day. So she can't even call out unless she's just like really sick.
wow.
'Cause
So
my-
being the general manager, that's almost impossible to do a call out.
yeah, well, she's like just under the general manager. So they really depend, especially when they have her closing. They kind of depend on her being there because it's
Yeah.
either open or closed. And she said she's not trying to open no Starbucks, and that day she got to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. She's not trying to open no store. She rather close because she closed. They close at 10 o'clock because she goes in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and they close. The store actually closes at 10, but then they work until 10:30 to clean up, so to be clean for the morning shift. But yesterday she got stuck there till almost 11 because she couldn't. There was one girl waiting for somebody to come pick her up, and she couldn't leave her there by herself. So
Nice.
she got stuck there till almost 11 o'clock. I was like, that sucks. She said, well, I can't even complain. She said, because there's times the other girls would be sitting with her waiting for her Uber to show up. So, nobody's allowed to leave there and leave one person waiting for a ride to get home.
Yeah. Well, it's always
Um,
best to
Which
wait
is
to
a
make
good
sure
thing, though,
everyone has
because,
a safe ride home.
yeah,
Yeah, because I think only once it happened to me where um I was waiting for my ride home and the closing manager just took off. They didn't even wait. But the next day they got what for because it was caught on camera.
wow. I don't understand how a manager why a manager would do that. Leave a person, whether it's a man or a woman, leave them standing around by themselves in the dark because you can't leave them in the building. If you're the manager, you got to lock up.
Yeah. Well, towards the end of my employment, because I decided to leave that workplace, just the record straight. But towards the end of my employment there, um, they actually gave us the power where we can just lock up the place ourselves. So all the doors were locked. So all we had to do was just punch in the secret code and walk out the door, and we're good to go. Just make sure the door closes behind us.
That was
So
good.
so that was pretty good.
Yeah, it was. This way, you could leave when you were done.
Yeah, well, because we've been there for so long, they built the trust with us that we wouldn't do anything stupid. We'll call it.
And some people will do stupid stuff.
Yep, some will do some very stupid and foolish stuff, and unfortunately, it does cost them their job. Other
I,
times, it might be some type of discipline.
I was working at Walmart a few years ago as a cashier, but they actually had this one girl was literally stealing money little by little out the register. Like I said, I wasn't paying her no mind, and she was like three registers down to my left. It was busy as heck, so I know that she was slick about it because she had candy in her pocket. So every time I guess it was her slipping money in her pocket, but then she when she pulled her hand back out, she'd have a piece of candy in it. Like I said, when she did it, it was kind of quick, so I didn't pay her no mind. And next thing I know, because I knew a couple of guys that did uh that was upstairs doing security and watching cameras. They come bolting down, and I guess in the process, they called the police because the two guys that did the security and two police officers come zooming past me. I'm like, what the heck? And they went to this girl's register and pulled her from the register and cuffed her right there in front of everybody. I was like, wow.
Sad.
They had to pull somebody off the floor because she was in the middle of ringing somebody up. They had to pull one of the girls out of the women's department to finish her line because she was in the middle of ringing somebody up. Because I think she actually had her light off, and I think she had that one customer and maybe two more people behind her. They said they had to turn around and get somebody off the floor to finish her line, and they dragged her out of there cuffed up.
Yep, and Jennifer and Andrew are saying, "Yep, I know for sure. Walmart has a lots of products they have to follow when it comes to stuff like that." Yep. Lately, I've been coming across a lot of loss prevention videos that are related to Walmart.
I'm trying to think. One of the guys, I thought he had left Walmart because I had about 2 years ago. I was working at a supermarket here on Long Island called Shoprite, and I saw him doing stock. And I'm looking at him like I know him from somewhere. And then he was talking to somebody about doing security at Walmart, and I said, "That's where I know him from." So I asked him if he was still doing security. He said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, okay." I guess he was doing it because I know he was there in the morning when I got there, and he was out by 2 o'clock. So I guess he might have been going straight to Walmart and working till closing.
Okay. Yeah.
Because when
No.
I worked there during the week, I would close because I was taking care of one of my grandkids back then, and I couldn't. I had to wait for my daughter to come home so I could go to work at Walmart. And they were like, "We need you certain hours." I said, "I'm telling you, Monday through Friday, I can come in at night. Saturday and Sunday, y'all can have me anytime you want it because I'm not babysitting on the weekends." So they had me in coming in Saturday and Sundays early in the morning, but I'd be done by 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, something like that. Actually, four
Yeah.
o'clock. 'Cause I would do 8 to 4. And actually, I think I would wind up doing 8 to 5 because we would get an hour for lunch, and this way I was still getting paid. They had me in the system for 9 hours, but we got uh, lunch, an hour for lunch, and I still got paid for 8 hours, which I liked. I was kind of like, I wish I could have did that, work those hours all week, but
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to be a mean grandma and wake this baby up because he's gonna be up all night.
Yep. And Jennifer saying they have they have a lot of classes and training they have to take for
Yeah, that's
assist.
what they called it, asset protection. That's
Yep.
what they call it.
Because need to protect the product in the stores. Because just don't want the stuff to go missing.
Yeah,
And what makes it worse is when stuff goes missing due to an employee.
and a lot of times, especially in that particular store, most of it was the customers because this particular Walmart was in the mall, but you could enter it either from the parking lot or inside the mall. So you have people coming in from the mall with bags already because they've been shopping in the mall. So now they're being slick and, you know, stuffing things in them bags that they're walking into the store with. Because they caught a whole lot of people doing that. And I
Yep.
was like, how do y'all think you're gonna come into it? The big store, and that particular Walmart, because it was a mall and it had 2 levels, that Walmart had 2 floors. How y'all think y'all coming into a big Walmart like this and think there's no cameras?
Beats me.
I said, because you know if they got more cameras in the Walmart, that's just one level. They definitely got cameras in this one, and they got a first floor and a second floor. But I guess apparently people didn't care. They tried it anyway.
They try it because they just don't care. But they will care when they have a court date. And then it stops
Exactly.
them from potentially be able to travel because if that on your record, that could be enough that could stop you from traveling.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's enough to do it, but it can be enough.
Oh,
But yeah. But anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap this up because I'm starting to fall asleep.
okay, buddy.
Because I've been up since 2 in the morning, but Before we go, I'm going to run that promo one more time for the Booze Cruise 3.0.
The Booze Cruise 3.0, hosted by Rob from Cruising on the High Seas and Travel. Ports of call: Costa Maya, Mexico; Roatan, Honduras; Belize City, Belize; Cozumel, Mexico; out of Tampa, Florida; Costa Maya, Mexico; Roatan, Honduras; Belize City, Belize; Cozumel, Mexico. Aboard the Grandeur of the Seas out of Tampa, Florida. Sailing October 25 to November 1, 2025. Book today for this amazing sailing with any travel agent.
Yep, and that's the Booze Cruise 3.0 on October 25th, 2025 to November 1st on Grandeur of the Seas. So if you're interested, reach on out to me. I'll get you more details or contact any TA. But like I said, I'm going to wrap up this live stream. So I'll see you all in another live stream, chat, or whoever knows, wherever trials may take us. Till then, bye for now.
Later.